And so I just want to tell you a little bit about Washington County Kids to start off with. I'm the president of Washington County Kids. I want to thank you for participating in our first CARE Expo. We're really excited to host this virtual event to support families and providers in Washington County. And we're thrilled that you're sharing it with us. Washington County Kids is a coalition of individuals and organizations who are working to increase access for kids to out-of-school time programs, which include early childhood, after school, and summer. Our mission is to ensure access to quality out-of-school time programs that equip Washington County children and youth for success. We are dedicated to this goal because these programs increase the success of kids both academically and in their future careers. Our activities include the opportunity for providers to work together, training for providers and their staff to increase program quality, and information to assist families. We are committed to seeking solutions that will continue to meet the needs of our community and our providers. We are pleased to announce that we have recently been awarded a 2-year grant of approximately $20,000 a year from Meyer Memorial Trust to build capacity to increase equity in the county. And with this funding, we've been able to contract with Shari Getz, whom you will meet later, to provide creative solutions and event support. This event was originally supposed to be an in-person event. However, you know what happened. So obviously this was not possible. There are still many situations that are in flux. School situations are still being decided. Planning is still ongoing. Providers are still adapting to the new situation. And so I hope you will bear with us. We are providing this opportunity tonight so that families and providers can get to know each other a little bit better and hopefully then be in touch with each other in the future to accommodate the needs of everyone. After this event is over with tonight, participants will, and some of the providers will be sent evaluation forms to fill out so that we can improve what we do in the future. So we hope you will keep this in mind. The families who participate will also be sent 2 handouts that will be fun activities. One is provided by Creativity HQ, and the other one is by Math Gamers. So you will get these free of charge, and I hope you will enjoy doing these activities with your families. We will also be doing door prizes during the event, and hopefully you will enjoy getting the books that will have been donated for this purpose. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go along here. So with your support, we can continue to expand our work to help kids in our county be successful. And we are very pleased to have you join us tonight. So the agenda for tonight, we will be introducing coordinators, people from our group who are helping to facilitate tonight, an overview of regulations, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. We will describe our process a little bit more, and we will introduce providers. So each provider will have 2 or 3 minutes to talk about their program. We have already sent out information to families about what each provider does, just briefly, and contact information. And then we will have questions and answer period. Any questions that appear in the chat, plus any others that are brought up at that time. And then once again, we will encourage you to fill out the evaluations that are going to be sent out. And of course, like I said, we will have door prizes. So our coordinators tonight, myself, Maureen Barnhart, who is one of the people she's waving at us here. She's a board member for Washington County Kids. Eliseo Flores, who's a board member also, and also our treasurer. And he is also program director for, education program director for Centro Cultural to Washington County. Shari Getz, who's the founder and owner of Creativity HQ. Karen Henkemeyer, Child Care Information and Referral and 211 Coordinator with Community Action. So wave to the group there, Karen. And Martha Mesa, who is supposedly translating for us, but I don't see her on the call. And then Cara Wood, who has been our intern for the summer and helping us out and planning for this event. I now am pleased to introduce Evan Weaver, who is the interim director of the Children, Youth, and Families Division of the Health and Human Services Department for Washington County. And he's going to talk about current guidelines for care in Washington County.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for joining us today. So I'm going to talk about everybody's favorite topic, which is government regulations and health and safety standards. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I want to make sure that all the providers have a lot of time to interact with folks and answer questions. I think my preface to everything I'm going to share with everybody today is that keep in mind standards are constantly being looked at for revision, number one. So the Oregon Health Authority constantly kind of works with child care providers, schools, after school programming. Like they're constantly looking to look at the situation with COVID-19, see what providers are saying about how things are impacting them, and kind of thread the needle between safety and creating an environment that actually functions for children to be to interact with each other and still have educational and enrichment activities. So what I'm going to share with you are the guidelines that are current, but just know that these can change, and particularly some of the child care guidelines I know are under revision as we speak. And so some of the things I will talk about are best practices, and also the elements that we'll discuss today can vary depending on a couple different things. They will vary depending on the age range of the children we're talking about. So, you know, preschool and down has a certain type of rule set. School age children have their own unique rule set. And then the other thing that can really impact the way that these standards are implemented are where the program is set. So something that's inside all the time versus something that's primarily outside, like a recreational activity, like a soccer league or something, are going to have different standards, and they're going to be implemented a little bit differently. So that's just a preface for this. And I will also provide everybody, there's a link at the end of my presentation where if you're really interested in the exacting details of this, I would encourage you to go to the Oregon Health Authority website, and they have them posted there on their COVID-19 resources page, and you can go and look line by line about the various regulations for each age demographic as well as different settings. So I'll only talk about things that are relatively common across all, and probably the thing that's most important to parents and caregivers, which is what happens if there's a COVID-19 case that's confirmed while my kid is in care, or I hear that a staff member came down with COVID-19. Well, the first thing that should happen is the providers contact their local public health authority, which in this instance is in Washington County's Health and Human Services department that I work for. They would have a conversation with the contact tracing and public health surveillance team. That team would determine the level of risk to children within the program, and then they would give guidance to the providers, such as we think you need to put your program on pause, or it's okay to continue because we feel like the contact was minimal. So that would be a discussion between the provider and the public health entity. You would, as a parent, you would very likely get a notification if there was a confirmed case, and if there was contact with your child by the person who had the confirmed case, it's likely that your child would be asked to not come back into the program for 10 to 14 days. And this isn't, I want to be very clear, it's not something where you wouldn't know if your child came into contact with a confirmed COVID-19 case through the provider, because it would be the responsibility of the county to reach out to people through contact tracing to make that very clear to you. It's not something where you're just going to hear about it via hearsay. You would have direct contact from somebody from the local public health office reaching out to you. And they might be asking questions about, who else your family has come into contact with if they're concerned about tracing the disease and tracing and for transmission. The other thing that will be relatively common across all settings is the screening for symptoms. So if kids have exhibiting like a persistent cough or really high grade fever, those are things that you may, perhaps in the past you would consider sending your kid under those circumstances. In these circumstances, you're going to be heavily dissuaded from sending your kid if there's any kind of sign of symptom before sending them into the program. If we can go to the next slide. So again, here's an area where we're starting to see some evolution depending on the age group. But really best practice is what we call stable cohorts or stable groups. And what this means to you as a parent is if your kid was in a program that say had 3 or 4 different enrichment activities in it, maybe an art activity, a physical development activity, and then some kind of academic activity around reading or math, and typically they would mix groups of kids. How it would look now is that your child would stay in the same group and rotate, because we really want to reduce the amount of additional people that we're coming in contact with, to reduce the amount of tracing that would need to occur if there was in fact a confirmed case, and then we have to kind of follow the flow of that case to understand who else might be at risk. These cohorts, these stable groups can change. Typically it happens week to week, but it can happen within that. But again, the best practice is to limit the exchanging as much as possible. And then there's another slide here, but that we'll talk about later, but staff, can also change between groups, but we asked really that happens as minimally as possible, as little as possible. And if staff is floating between groups because they have to, whether that's for transportation issues or whatever, that staff member really has to take great care around sanitization and their hygiene. Face coverings, this is something that's evolved also. At the time that some of these guidelines came out, we didn't have the same mask order that Governor Brown has put into place around mask use that now exists, such as indoor use and outdoor use. The recommendation is for everyone to wear a mask above the age of 2, particularly when there is adult supervision around to assist kids getting their mask on and off as they need, whether it's getting a drink or eating, things like that. It's not required of very young children just because of the difficulties of having a 2-year-old put a mask on and off and keep it on. We know that's not realistic. It's just the best practice for younger children. Staff obviously needs to wear face coverings at all times. And emerging evidence is that masks are better than the shields, but that's not something that showed up in the regulatory guidance yet. And next slide. Other things that you'll see in these programs, social distancing, we're all very familiar with this now, 6 foot. So even in those stable cohorts, you're trying to space kids out as best you can. Large group events, we really don't want really big congregate groups occurring as best as possible. And there's the staff moving between groups that I had just mentioned. And the other big piece that I think is different for people coming into care situations is the increased amount of cleaning and sanitization that's occurring. It's just occurring at a lot more frequent rate. Providers are needing to go in and clean surfaces and doors, vehicles, things like that on a really regularized basis, much more often than they would in the past. And then for very young children, best practice is to limit the use of plush toys, squishy things that are very difficult to clean. So these are things that you might notice as a caregiver, an adult, dropping your kid off. You probably see a lot more cleaning supplies, and the frequency of cleaning will increase throughout the duration of a program. You can go to the I think this is the last slide. And as I mentioned at the beginning, care standards are going to vary depending on the location and the type of program. So an after-school program is under a different set of regulatory guidance, a different set of regulations than a child care facility who's providing care for a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. So I really encourage people, if you want to be comfortable with what your environment's going to look like in a detailed way, talk to your providers. These people are having to live by these regulations, so they know them. And you can also go to the Oregon Health Authority website, which is that first bullet down there, that blue link. And if you just type in your Google, whatever search you like to use, if you put in Oregon Health Authority COVID-19 resources, there's a page that will come up that has all the relevant regulation materials that exist. That's pretty much all I have. If people have specific questions, we can try and respond to those, but I didn't want to go too far in depth. I just want to give people a sense of how things are likely to be different and different expectations that you should kind of carry with you as you go into different care programming for this year.
So people can put questions in the chat. We'll deal with questions and answers after providers have done their presentations. Or you can just, remember to ask your questions during the Q&A session. So now we're going to have providers talk about their programs. So we're going to start out with Violetta talking about Oregon Child Development Coalition.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for to Washington County Kids for the invitation and the opportunity to talk about our programs. My name is Violeta Castillo, and I'm the enrollment supervisor for the Oregon Child Development Coalition in Washington County. Let me tell you a little bit about our agency. We are a nonprofit organization established in 1971, dedicated to improve the lives of children and families throughout early childhood education, care, and advocacy. Each year, the Oregon Child Development Coalition serves around 4,000 children and families in 12 different Oregon counties. We provide services to Head Start and Early Head Start, low-income eligible children and families. As you know, Head Start is a federal program that promotes school readiness to young children from low-income families by enhancing their cognitive, social, and emotional development. Oregon modeled the Oregon pre-kindergarten after Head Start. Our program serves children from 3 to 5 years old. We offer also the OPKP3 for infant and toddlers from 6 weeks to 3 years of old. And we also offer preschool promise for children ages 3 and 4. We connect families with program services in the community and operate centers in Washington County, 2 centers in Cornelius, and 1 center is in Hillsborough. We also provide services for children of all the abilities, including those with identified special needs, children with an individual family service plan or IFSP receive first priority for enrollment. Our program staff usually work with parents and special education providers to meet each child's special needs and support individual goals. We use a strength-based approach for communicating and interacting with the families, which create a welcoming environment and all the interactions that we have with them, and create an environment of inclusiveness for each family's diversity, cultural, ethnic background. What we offer early childhood education services for children 6 weeks to 5 years old. Healthy meals and snacks are provided through USDA, developmental and health screenings, disabilities and mental wellness support for children and families, 6 hours of service every day, resources and referrals. All the programs are at no cost for the families. Who qualifies? Low-income families, foster children, children experiencing homelessness, children with disabilities. It's really easy to apply. You just log into www.ocdc.net We have different counties. Click into locations and Washington County. You will find all our information, my email account, my phone number, and my name. You can reach me at any time, or you can call our administrative office at the 503-359-0144. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you, Violeta. And so next will be Eliseo from Centro Cultural.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for attending today's CARE Expo. We're really excited to have you all here. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about Centro Cultural. So Centro Cultural was founded in 1972. We are serving Latino families with an ever-growing range of programs designed to create self-sufficient, engaging, and active citizens. We recognize that everyone, regardless of income or documented status, are vital to our economy and are part of the social and cultural fabric of Oregon. So specifically, that is a broader look at Centro Cultural, more specifically focusing on our youth development programs. So we have a multitude of programs. One of them being the program for our robotics clubs. In that we serve 5th through 8th graders, as well as 9th through 12th graders. And that's really just helping build a strong STEM education for those families in Washington County, as well as we're based in Cornelius. So a lot of the families that come to our Lego Robotics are from Cornelius. And then we also have currently a summer STEAM program that is going on. We are serving 2nd through 12th graders. And in that we have Monday through Thursday, we're having YouTube videos. There are pre-recorded sessions for our 2nd through 12th graders to watch. And then on Fridays, we have 5th graders all the way up to 12th graders having a live presenter from a professional in different STEM industries, whether that be through the Portland Art Museum, Tualatin River Keepers. We also are partnering with Girl Scouts in our summer STEAM program. So any female student that is in the grades of 2 through 5th are able to also have kits and whatnot given to them from the Girl Scouts, and we kind of just built that relationship so that our families get, as I said, a better education into STEM and things of that nature. We also have the MESA program that is going to be for 5th grade through 8th graders, and that is ran through Washington County as well. And we are partnering with many industry leaders in the industry, such as Intel and organizations such as that. So if you are interested or know of any 2nd through 12th graders that would like to be part of our programs, we are really, really encouraging registration currently, especially for our summer program. So you can find my information on the, I believe Sherry put the Centro Cultural website in the chat. You can find my information on there. If you just click into our website, feel free to contact me. We would love to have your students and youth really like I said, encouraging them to sign up. So thank you.
Okay, next we have Araceli Mendez from Adelante Mujeres.
Hi, start my video. Thank you everybody for joining us as well. My name is Araceli Mendez and I work with Adelante Mujeres, who we are a nonprofit organization out of Forest Grove, working specifically with Latina women and their families to empower them and be part of the communities. As far as youth programming, I do work with the Chicas program, Chicas Youth Development Program. And we focus working with Latina girls and female identifying students from 3rd through 12th grade. Our main goals are to kind of help them develop the leadership potential that we know every Latina girl and female identifying student that comes to our program has. We also focus on creating healthy lifestyles, so encouraging them to be active, encouraging them to just be aware of their health in general, because as we know, sometimes in the Latino community, it's a little difficult to find healthier alternatives to food, or just it's a lot more expensive to be quote unquote healthy. So we really help our families and our chicas learn how to do that without it breaking the bank. We also focus on our cultural identity and the girls' cultural identity, and although they are mostly Latinas, we do have other participants from other cultures, and so we really focus in everybody learning about each other and bringing and making it a solidarity community in our after-school sessions. So we really build on, or we really work on building community and making sure that we're all there for each other. We pre-COVID, we had 26 sites, and so they were after-school programs once a week, 90 minutes every week. Now, since we do work very closely with Beaverton, Hillsborough, and Forest Grove school districts, we are planning to follow what they have, what they're planning for their school years. So right now we will be having virtual sessions, which can be, every plan has their pros and cons, but the good thing about this is that we don't have to limit our service to 26 sites, and we can have more students join because it is virtual, and we don't have to select students from specific schools. So that's one positive thing from hosting virtual sessions, which will be starting in October. And that's pretty much what we do. We do help our high school students with college applications, scholarships, and we have a specific person designated to help our high school students not only graduate high school, but pursue something outside of high school, whether that's a vocational school or a four-year university. Just making sure that they have the support and guidance to get to where they want to be. And so we're really excited about that, and providing, again, those virtual one-on-one sessions for the high school students who need it. And so, yeah, so we'll be starting again our virtual sessions, hopefully in October. And I saw that the website was also put into the chat, but again, my name is Araceli Mendez, and my info is under the Chicas program page under Adelante Mujeres website. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So now we're going to try to do a door prize. So Shari is going to see if we have a winner here.
All right. I'm going to draw. I can't seem to put myself up here for you to see, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and draw, and you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the people who registered prior to about probably 6 or 5:30 are in this. So I apologize if I missed anybody who joined us after. And the winner is Gabriela Rodriguez. Are you here?
If you are, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, let us know if you're here, because you must be present to win, we decided. Any Gabriela Rodriguez? Okay, I think we're going to go on to another name then. I don't see you in the list, so I think Katie, do you see her in the list? All right. Or Cara, maybe you might be looking at the list more closely. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw another. Okay, the winner is Jessica Dorsey. Are you here with us? Jessica, I think I do see you. Yes, I do see Jessica.
I'm here. Sorry,
Hi.
I couldn't figure out how to unmute. Hello.
Congratulations. Katie will tell you what you won.
Great.
Um, what we're gonna do here,
Wait, is that with her and Adam Sandler? Or is that a different one?
I guess I couldn't hear you. I couldn't understand what you were saying. What we're gonna be doing is you can send your name and address and the grade level of your children. And if you wish, their gender and special interest. We're gonna be selecting books. These are books that have been donated by the Oregon Education Association retired teachers and their literacy project. We have all sorts of very interesting books. And, you know, some, even some books of, let's see, like That Bad Cat. We've got Balto and the Great Race, Dog Man, and of course, a Nancy Drew mystery, etc. So various books. So just give me, send me an email at info@washingtoncountykids.org for tomorrow, and with the names of your kids, and we will be able to send you a book or more.
With a grade level.
Yeah, depending upon the grade level of your kid. So let's see, we're going back here to technology here. Okay, so now Roberto Bermejo will talk about the Boys and Girls Club. You're on mute. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I got it. No worries. Hi, my name is Roberto Bermejo. I'm from the Inikai Family Boys and Girls Club in Hillsborough. So what we do at the clubs is that we are a elementary age program. So from first grade up until, well, elementary, and also we have a teen program. So first to sixth grade, and then we have our seventh grade to 12th grade teenagers. And we're a program that provides activities that go around art, sports and rec, career and education, healthy lifestyles and things like that. We try to give the kids the opportunity to be creative in all those areas and choose their interest on those. And well, today, since this year is gonna be a little different. We don't have any field trips anymore in this year, so it's gonna be a little difficult in how we have also our volunteers too and guests. So we're gonna be working on kind of getting Zoom volunteers to kind of do programming with the children there and the teenagers for the school year. This summer, we've been open this summer for about 5 weeks now, and for new kids and new teens, registration opens September 7th for the fall. But this summer has gone pretty good. Similar to most people's rules around COVID is we have a very limited space. Like before, we used to serve 140 kids a day, and we had to really reduce that down to about 40. And what we have right now is, on average, this summer is 25. So you can see the difference where how most years we would have a bunch of kids, but now it's a little different because of the safety and everything. But we do take a lot of precautions. We have to health screen all the kids and teens and the staff in there. So definitely try to make sure that anybody entering the building has no symptoms and temperature is normal and all those things. So that's been part of what we've been doing so far this summer, and it took us like about a month to plan it out. But for the fall, we are looking at trying to get more kids in the building and more teens. But we're keeping our ratios to 1 to 15. Each staff has a class of 15, at least that's the cap for them. And we're trying to, make sure we're safe enough to open, and making sure that all the families feel comfortable, and we have orientations for each family even if they're new, we have orientations for them to understand kind of like our rules and our guidelines and what each staff expectations are, and then what we expect from the parents. So there's a lot of things we've processed going through there because of COVID and all these things. I'm gonna put down our website. It's bgcportland.org onto the chat. So if you want more information, I'm on my emails in that website. Just click on the club and then Edukai Club, and then yeah, you can find my email there. We also have wonderful staff like our Youth and Family Services Manager there. Her name is Ray Latry, and she is a great person to talk to too as well about the club. Let me drop it down real quick. Sorry.
Okay,
I think I put it in there for you.
yeah.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, it kept auto correcting me. But yeah, for first grade to 6th and then 7th grade to 12th. It's a great program, safe place for kids and teens. We used to have a ton of people going through the door, but everything's different now, and we're just being cautious and everything. So yeah, if you have any other questions, just let me know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And so Molly, you're up next for the Movement Lab.
Hi everyone, so glad to be here. And I'm Molly Courtney, and I'm the owner of the Movement Park, and we're located in Hillsborough by the airport and across from the Intel Jones Farm campus. And the Movement
Molly,
Park.
I'm sorry. Let me interrupt for 1 second. I want to spotlight you, but I can't find, what are you logged in with?
The Movement Park.
The Movement Park.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, thank you. All right, here you come. Now we can see you. Great, thank you.
Okay. So I was saying I'm Molly Courtney, and I own the Movement Park, and we are a parkour facility where we teach students to find their own best path and overcome obstacles. So we believe, and a big part of our mission is using parkour as an avenue to put life lessons in action. And now more than ever, our children need resilience and confidence that they can overcome all the obstacles that this school year is going to bring them. And so we're really excited to be able to offer a new offering to the community, and is going to be through a program we're calling the Movement Lab. And the Movement Lab is a program to support families in our community to navigate e-learning and all the obstacles they're facing. We're a 10-week half-day program for students to do schoolwork and spend time with friends, so to have some community time as well as get exercise. The program is going to have both support and helping students to log into their e-learning, whatever that may look like for their family, as well as have some supplemental learning activities that we can put into action and movement. We are really big about teaching a growth mindset at the Movement Park, so that will be a big aspect of the Movement Lab as well. So we're trying to create a positive environment to support kids with their e-learning, as well as build community and get support to get moving. So no matter what the e-learning looks like for your family this fall, we will partner with you to make the environment one that your child can survive in. So like I said, we're offering half-day e-learning, so 4-hour sessions each day in small controlled learning groups of a maximum of 10 students. We have the space and the availability to split into 2 completely different cohorts, and so we will have 2 completely different groups, one kindergarten through 2nd grade and another 3rd through 6th grade, but we'll also be considering family groups just to minimize exposure when we are placing children in those groups. We also are, in order to keep our highest levels of safety and minimize our exposure and our contact with with different families, we're requiring our families to commit to a 10-week commitment. So that turnover of our 10 students would be extended to a longer period. And that 10-week program aligns with the quarters of the school district and when they will be reassessing their decisions about the school year come November 5th. So the first session of ours will start August 31st and run through November 6th. And for more information, you can visit themovementpark.com/e-learning support. And you can also email me, molly@themovementpark.com, if you have further questions or if you'd like to set up a time for a phone chat or a Zoom conversation to answer any of your questions.
Thank you so much. So now Aiko Sato will talk about champions.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm Aiko. I'm the program manager with Champions, and I actually have the distinct pleasure of being here with a couple of colleagues. We wanted to make sure that we had a well-rounded arsenal of folks to help answer some questions. And I actually want to introduce you to Nick Neville, who's been doing some amazing outreach work in the Western Washington County. Nick?
Hey, fantastic. Thank you, Aiko. So I am so excited to speak to all of you today. As Aiko mentioned, I'm the partnership manager for Champions. But for a moment, I'll put on my dad hat and kind of tell you how I got to where I'm at. I have a first grade student and a kindergarten student. Finding a really quality childcare provider has always been a struggle, and I have spoken to many parents recently, and that just has been amplified because of the changes to school schedules and COVID-19. Both of my children attend a KinderCare Champions Center, and it just makes me so excited to reach out and share the programs with other families because we have such a positive personal experience. They come home every day excited about learning. Last week, they designed and decorated their car, and then at the end of the week they got to have a drive-in movie theater where they were sitting in their cars that they designed. So really great programming that is getting them excited about learning. So Champions focuses on the school-age child. We have had before and after school partnerships with local school districts for well over 30 years in the Portland area. We have adapted and changed to meet the different environment that we find ourselves currently operating in. Health and safety, of course, being a huge priority. Over the last 5 months, we have ran over 500 KinderCare Champions sites for essential workers. Through that, we have really had a broad experience that has allowed us to create resources that are now being used by other entities. So a COVID-19 response plan and other metrics that really do help to ensure health and safety for students. But in addition to physical health, we're also concerned about mental health of the children that are trusted to us. And so we have done some really great things to support their social emotional learning. We've always been focused on CASEL's 5 social emotional competencies. So promoting self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, responsible decision-making, relationship skills, all key components that are going to be even more important now than ever before. We have a great curriculum of STEAM-based activities that we plan to have children participating in addition to supporting them through their distance learning. And just to kind of give you an idea, here are just a few of the topics for our units that go into the different curriculums. So weather and natural disasters, puppet production, building bridges, all integrated with science and math learning. So again, just really making learning really fun so that kids enjoy their time in their Champions program. The other thing that I'm really impressed with, again, kind of putting my dad hat back on, is the inclusion services. My son goes to occupational therapy weekly. He just has a challenging time identifying his body in space, and the KinderCare program that he is enrolled in has just done a phenomenal job in meeting his individualized needs. And part of that is because we have made a very intentional effort of putting together a team at our headquarters to support our champion staff with inclusion for those students that have unique needs. School districts that we currently partner with are Hillsborough, Beaverton, and we're also looking to support the Forest Grove community with back to school. There's a few informational links in the chat box that my colleagues have put. We're very excited to be here tonight and hope that we can continue the conversation with you in the future.
Thank you very much. So now we'll have another break and see if we can give out another door prize.
Sure thing. Love giving away things.
Yep.
Okay, so this one is going to, is Oriana Pacheco here?
Oh, I saw her name. She was on the.
I'm here.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you.
Yeah, just send us that information to info@ so we can get you something that would be most useful.
I will do that. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure.
Great, congratulations. So now Shari is going to tell us about her own program, Creativity HQ.
Well, I'm glad to be here, everybody. It's such an amazing group of providers, isn't it?
Yep.
I do not know how to spotlight myself as the co-host, so hopefully you can see me. I believe that children who engage in the arts and music and storytelling of all kinds develop really important life skills that go with them their whole life in their social interactions, their academic career, and onward into adulthood. I truly believe that if we explore the arts and think creatively, we can change the world. A lot of people think that creativity is about drawing. If you cannot draw, you are not creative, but that's really not true. Creativity is about being able to take different ideas and concepts and pull different things together into something new. It's really about problem solving. And I find it fascinating that we are thrown into the workforce and told to think outside the box, but we really don't give the tools to children that they need to be able to do that. So that's where I come in. I consider myself a creativity whisperer. I want to encourage children to explore and appreciate and become aware of all kinds of, all forms of expression. And then if they want to specialize, great, but if they don't, we're giving them this great foundation that they will then draw from their entire life. So that's what I do. I want to develop well-rounded critical thinking and creative children. I do it in an enrichment environment after school. And sadly, we have a devastating pandemic. And while I have done a lot of one-on-one tutoring and coaching, and I was just trying to start small group classes, now I'm going to be virtual for a while. But I also believe strongly that our children live in dual worlds. They are IRL and they are digital. And so I hope that I can provide programming that's worthwhile that will help them with relating to one another on and offline. Since they are going to forever live in that dual environment. My website, creativity-hq.com, has a list of my classes and contact information. I think that about sums it up for me. And you will get a handout that I put together a couple of activities, and happy to answer any questions privately.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So last but not least, Sarah Sadow from Airway Science for Kids.
Hi, I'm Sarah Sadell. I'm the Education Director for Airway Science for Kids. We've been in the Portland area since 1992, and our mission is to engage the youth in aviation and aerospace exploration through education and career. Unfortunately, our Hillsborough site, which is at the Hillsborough Airport, is a little small for the grouping that we're required to do these days. But we are working hard on opening a new facility on Mississippi Avenue in the Albina district of Portland, where we're having a tremendous number of opportunities that we're developing. But for people that are not in that area, we are offering a program that we're really excited about that is a module kit. And so what we're doing is we have 6 one-hour explorations in a module, and the kit comes with any special materials that are required to participate in the program, along with a USB drive that has all the supporting videos and instruction. We also, with future kits, we have our first kit finished, we'll also be doing live streaming through Twitch on our Mississippi site. And then we'll, of course, record those and make them available on USB drives for those who have limited Wi-Fi access or internet access. The best way to find out about it is to go to our website, which is airwayscience.org, and sign up for our newsletter for updates and new releases. We will have 5 learning modules by the end of the coming quarter. The principles of flight, which will explore the physics of what makes something stay up in the air and hopefully not crash. We also will be doing a 6-hour module of exploring the solar system with gravity and weightlessness and things like that. Then airplane design, why airplanes look the way they do and what makes them work. Space travel, where we'll talk about developing our own space missions. And then we have a drone module as well. So we're looking forward to being able to offer those opportunities. The grade levels for those are specifically for grades 3 through 6. They come with everything that's required to be able to participate. And so we would arrange to have a drop-off site for families who would like to participate to get the resources necessary. And it's at no cost because it's all being provided through a grant. So I think that's what we've got for right now.
Thank you so very much. So now we would like to, we're going to do a door prize right now, Shari, or wait until later?
Maybe we hold off and let's do our Q&A.
Yeah, so does anybody have questions? Are there questions in the chat?
We did have one that came up from Gabe. Let's see, it's about programming for autistic child who's 6.
Yeah. Does anybody have anything like that available? So,
Champions, yes, we do. Nick spoke a little bit about that. We have a team dedicated in our Portland home office that is our inclusion team, and it really helps to give the teachers strategies and ideas to make sure that we are a safe place for everyone to be and that everyone feels welcomed, and that there's different strategies that work with different students. And so we want to make sure that we're doing the best to our ability. And we have several students currently in our care right now that we work with, and that they have a great time in a group care setting. So definitely reach out to Champions.
Good to know. Thank you.
I'll also say typically we have a great success with autistic children in our space and classes, in our parkour classes. And I think just an individual conversation to figure out what your particular needs for your family would help us to know how we could support your family and if we would be a good fit for you. So definitely reach out to us as well, because we have had really great success just in the nature of the sport that we offer and the facility that we have.
Who's speaking? Who is that?
Oh, that's Molly Courtney.
Oh,
the
thanks,
Movement
Molly.
Park.
Okay, Movement Park. Okay, so Movement Park and Champions are both options for you, Gabe.
So one other resource too is the Northwest Regional Education Service District, which provides programming for children with special needs. And so that's another place where you can take a look and see, you know, what best fits the needs of your child. So are there other questions?
Oh, I was going to add one more thing. At 211 info, if families call us, you just dial 211 on your phone, and we can see which childcare providers have had like additional training caring for kids with autism, or have experience caring for kids with autism, and we can provide referrals to those providers as well.
Great.
That's great. Thanks.
Okay, other questions? Maybe we need to have another
Why not? Why not? Okay, door prize coming up. And the winner of the third and final for tonight is Sanera here? Blackwood? I didn't see her name. Sanera Blackwood?
I don't remember seeing that name.
Don't think she's here. Maureen, Cara, I know you guys are helping us look through the names, but I don't see Sanera and I don't remember seeing it. All right, so I'll pick another. Is Max Lopez here? Is that Max of Gabe and Max?
Oh, I thought I saw a Max sign on.
Is that Max Lopez?
Yes, it is. Gabe and Max.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very close. So, Katie, can you put that slide up just so they can see what information to send to info? Thank you.
There we go. So just send it to info@ your full name and address. We need the address so we can mail the books to you. And then in order to know what's most appropriate for your child, it's helpful to know the grade level of your children, gender, special interests, whatever you think might be, might match a little bit to a book need. Okay.
Excellent.
So are there any other questions? Anybody thought of anything else? I must say that all of the information on how to contact providers is in the information that was sent out to individuals. And so you can feel very free to contact any of the providers you see tonight and ask them questions as well. Plus Evan is available too, and he's happy to answer questions. And I will say that, first of all, before we leave tonight, please respond to the questionnaires that are sent to you so that we can improve this event if we're able to offer it again in the future. And with that, I want to thank people who provided the handouts, Creativity HQ, and also Math Gamers, who both provide enrichment opportunities for kids.
You will get those with your evaluation email.
Right. Then thank you also for participating. If you have further questions for Washington County Kids, we are an all volunteer group. We are happy to assist you and to provide any information that we can for you. So thank you very much, everybody, to providers and also the families who participated tonight. Thank you so very much and hope you have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Katie, stay on for a sec.
Yeah.
I just want to capture a couple of things from chat that were private that won't be saved.
Okay.
I'm going to stop the recording as well.
Okay.